Hello everybody, and welcome to the video that will help guide you through using the Honorlock proctoring software for exam 4 and for the final exam. In this video I'm going to show you how to launch the exam using Honorlock, the short little process that Honorlock makes you go through in order to access the exam. Now this is going to be applicable for two of my courses, so this video is going to work double duty. If you're in my discrete math course or my trig course this semester, both of you are going to access the exams in the exact same way. So it doesn't matter which course you're in, just click on your course. When you're in the course, on the left-hand side, you will see a button for Honorlock. Let me go to the student view so it looks a little more like what you see on your end. So you should see a button that says Honorlock. You have to click on this button first to go through Honorlock, then Honorlock will allow you access to the exam. Now you do have to use Google Chrome as the browser. The Honorlock extension is only in Google Chrome. It's a free extension, and Chrome is a free browser that you can just download. So you should be able to see a screen like this if you don't have the extension. If you download Google Chrome, it doesn't automatically come with the extension. But when you click on the Honorlock link, it automatically searches for it, and it'll let you know. Click on that little checkbox and say Get Started. Now don't worry, Honorlock doesn't steal your information or record your webcam at all times. It's been vetted. Everyone has agreed that this is what we have to use, so if you want to take the final, there's no way around it. Click on Add to Chrome. It will automatically add the extension to your browser. I get this pop-up, yeah, this one that says turn on sync. There's an email address I haven't looked at in probably a dozen years. I'm not going to sync anything to it. I'm just going to close. I'm just going to close. And you should get a little check mark, and you should now have access to picking which exam you'd like to take using the Honorlock. Again, this is specifically, I'm in my discrete math course, but trig, you will also have a practice quiz. Again, the practice quiz is not for a grade. It's just to help you get accustomed to accessing exams using Honorlock if you've never used Honorlock before. So I recommend doing the practice quiz. You'll see a button that says Launch. You can begin to launch the exam. It says quiz because Canvas just uses quizzes. There's no way to call it an exam. But it will obviously be a slightly different format this way than what you're used to with the exams that did not use Honorlock. But because we have to use Honorlock, this one's just going to be a little bit tweaked. So again, this is just a practice quiz to get acquainted using the Honorlock. That will be necessary. It's one question, 1 point, but it doesn't hurt your grade. I figured I'd give you a bunch of attempts so that you can practice it multiple times before you're ready to actually sit and take the test 4 and the final exam. So I'm going to hit Take the Quiz. It's going to walk me through basically the instructions that I've provided to Honorlock. So you're not allowed to have a book, you're not allowed to have notes, you're not allowed to have, or sorry, you are allowed to have scratch paper, no restroom breaks, you can have a handheld calculator, no headphones, no hats, can't take the exam in a public area. There is some background noise allowed because I find Honorlock picks up on every little tiny detail, depending on how sensitive your microphone is. But obviously you can't have someone in the background talking to you during the exam. That'll be nothing but a bunch of red flags every 5 seconds. So once I feel like I'm in a quiet testing environment and my desk is clean, my phone is turned off and put away, and I'm ready to take the test, then you can hit Launch Proctoring. Honorlock will begin to open up its software. It will ask for access to your webcam. You may have to actually physically turn on your webcam in the settings. If you're having issues, there's always a little frequently asked questions guide here that you can click on if you're ever having issues with any of these steps throughout the way. So it's got my camera. I can even change my camera source if I click on those 3 little dots up there if I have multiple webcams. But my webcam's there, so the first thing it's going to ask me to do is kind of put my face right around there and take a photo. It'll say, thank you. Then you have to have an ID student ID will work, or if you have like a driver's license or anything like that. I do recommend if you're using an ID that has some information on there that maybe you don't want going out into the ether, like an address or something like that. Maybe you can cover that up with a little bit of sticky note paper or something. But if you have your SCF student ID, I find that works the best. This part can be a little finicky as you're trying to hold up the ID and square it. Sometimes it can be a little picky about getting the ID lined up perfectly. Oh, that one worked perfectly first try. If not, you can do it multiple times. By the time you click on it like the 5th or 6th time, sometimes a pop-up will come up and someone from their customer support will say, hey, are you having trouble with accessing or taking a picture of your ID? So there's always someone in the background in customer support ready to help you if they see you getting stuck along the way with the process. So I'm going to do next the room scan. For the room scan, it just basically shows that you don't have anything around you that you could use to be cheating. Like, I'm going to hold up my ID, the pen I'm going to use, blank piece of paper. You can show both sides. If you have multiple pieces of paper, you can show those. If you do have a formula sheet, because my trig students can use a formula sheet, hold up the formula sheet, make it loud and clear that you're not trying to use your own formula sheet. If you have a calculator, right? No cheat sheets here, just a standard calculator, which you're allowed to use. And then just politely do a little room scan around your room. Hey, there's my drum set. Scan your drum set if you have one. Scan your testing environment. I know it's a little awkward if you have like a mounted webcam. It might be hard to do. See, there's some piles of paperwork over there and a whiteboard over there with nothing on it. I'm just trying to be loud and clear that if at any point in time I'm sitting here taking the test and I don't look around or use a second monitor or a second computer, it's pretty much guaranteed that, I'm only looking at what I'm using as, my blank paper, then I'm definitely not cheating. But if on your webcam, you don't scan something to the left of the room and then every 15 seconds you lean over to the left of the room and then come back 10 seconds later with an answer, it's very obvious what you're doing. So, you want to be loud and clear and remove all doubt. If your room scan looks good, or if you think, oh, wow, I didn't scan my desktop, you can always redo your room scan. I scanned all my utensils and calculator and pointed it down at the desk. I'm pretty confident. Just going to say yes, submit. Looks like everything is good. Next, it'll ask you for the screen recording. It will record your screen so it knows that you're in Canvas and you're not going to, Google and typing in, hey, Google, what's the answer to, blah, blah, blah. So it will record your screen, hit launch screen recording. If you have multiple screens, it'll pop up all your different screens. You have to actually click on the screen. Even if you only have one screen to record, like on your laptop or something, you have to click on that screen and then hit share. It'll say, thank you very much for choosing which screen to record. And then it says you're all ready. Just hit click to begin. So I'm going to begin taking my exam. Now I'm going to be talking, so it may actually pop up and say, hey, you're not allowed to talk during the exam, but I did allow for some background noise. Plus also I'm making a video. But I can see on my screen now, I'm allowed to access the quiz. So my quiz is going, my time is showing. I only gave you 10 minutes because it's just one question. You'll have 2 hours for the final exam. But this is what the exam is going to look like. Obviously a little different. Some questions might be multiple choice. Some questions might be, show your work. Some questions might give a range of answers. Some might be true, false. It's obviously going to be a little bit different because it's going through Canvas and not just pencil and paper. If there are some questions that require you to submit answers, it will say within the question, make sure you submit solutions to this answer when you are finished with the exam. That is, you might have to pick an answer, or there might be a blank box where you type in an answer, but I also want to see your work later, so you still might need to upload some solutions. That way I can still give you partial credit even if you get the wrong answer. But this one's just a multiple choice, so I'm going to choose a selection, hit submit. Again, it's only one question, so that was a quick one. And it finishes up and it stops the recording and gives you your results. This is a nice thing about taking this exam this way. It'll be able to just give you your results right away and tell you how many points. You got 1 out of 1 point because there's only one question. And then that's it. You're done. Once you've finished taking exam 4 and once you've finished taking the final exam using the Honorlock and everything's all said and done and you're ready to end the semester, what you can do is click on the little puzzle piece up here for your extensions and click on these little dots that say, I'd like to remove Honorlock from Chrome. I'm done with it. I finished my exams. I'm done. And you can just simply remove it and it'll uninstall it. That way you don't have to worry about it. If you need it again, you can always download it again. And then close that out and you're finished. That's all you need to do for exam 4 and the final exam, is just make sure that you're using the Honorlock extension. And if you have any questions, obviously let me know, email me. I can help you with the process. It may be a little confusing at first, so that's why I wanted to make a practice quiz. And again, for my trig students, because you are allowed to use the formula sheet that has the unit circle on there, I'm going to specifically allow for that link for the unit circle for the formula sheet to be opened. So while you're taking the exam, you can open another window. It'll let you open another window as long as you stay within Canvas. But if you'd like to print that out, that's totally fine. I'm going to put in the instructions that if you have a printed piece of paper that has this formula sheet, all you have to do is show this to the camera, front and back, so that I can verify you're using the formula sheet you're allowed to use and not some other formula sheet you're not allowed to be using. So that should be it. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, click on that Honorlock link, open that practice exam. I gave you many attempts to go through and play around with it. But you can see the Honorlock process is pretty short and sweet. Take a picture, scan your ID, scan your working area, and then you're good to go. And once you're done, it automatically submits the test in Canvas, and then Honorlock saves the video and screen recording and lets me know when you're finished so that I can go in and verify that you took it honestly. And then that's it. You'll be finished for the semester. So thank you very much. And please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.